Hello, welcome to another episode of Wheel of Horror, the podcast where two best friends spin a wheel once a week. It chooses the horror movie, and they discuss it. Today we're talking about 1987's Evil Dead 2, which was directed by Sam Raimi. I'm your co-host, Alec.
I'm Eric. No, just kidding. It's Justin. Eric.
I'm Eric. Yeah, so that's a great way to start it. So basically, yeah, Justin is going to be filling in for Eric for the remainder of the year. Eric's taking a little vacation. He's going to be, he's been overworked. He's tired. He's tired.
He's sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah, he needs a little break after the spooky season, so he's going to take that. He said he's going to jump in here and there, but we've got some guests coming up. We've got a brand new wheel. We got a brand new co-host. Everything's okay at the Wheel of Horror, so moving right along. How are you doing, Justin?
Good. I have not seen the second one in a very long time.
The Evil Dead 2? Yeah. You've seen all of them? Like all the remakes, Ash vs. Evil Dead, all that?
Yeah, I really liked Ash vs. Evil Dead, the show.
Oh my god, dude. It's so good. I was so upset when they canceled it. I was like, no.
I mean, I don't know how it got canceled. It was a good show, unless there just aren't that many like Evil Dead fans. I don't know.
It's the tale as old as time, Justin. It's that Stars like Friday night 9:30 time slot. Like no one is watching that. So it's like they watched this on Netflix or whenever else it came out, but when it really counted, when they needed people to watch it as it was airing, nobody was watching it. I wasn't, I'm to blame.
I did watch it weekly when it came out.
You watched it on Stars?
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Like, I really like this show. I think Bruce Campbell is perfect for this role. Like, it's scary, but like he makes it kind of funny, and it's a funny. He's perfect for this role.
Yeah, and Ash vs. Evil Dead, I was telling Eric because he hadn't seen it, and we just did Army of Darkness a couple days ago. It's the perfect blend of horror and comedy, where I feel like Army of Darkness is too over-the-top comedic, and Evil Dead, I love it, but it's like too scary or whatever. This is like the perfect combination of Ash vs. Evil Dead.
If we were comparing them to like Goldilocks, the second one is technically just right.
Yeah, so this movie here, people love this one. People think this is like the magnum opus masterpiece of Sam Raimi, and I like it, but I gotta say, man, I still prefer the first one to this one.
Well, I will say I have not seen the remake of the first one that came out in like 2013 because I'm a little bitch, and I heard it was very scary.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
I don't remember. It may have been you, but people were like, dude, this one was really scary. And I'm like, I'm okay.
Yeah, the Evil Dead 2013 remake, that one's like, hey, no comedy. This one's straight, like, we're taking all the horror aspects from the original trilogy, and they're just hammering it home. Yeah.
Do you know why they decided to make the second one kind of like a redo of the first one? You know what I mean? Like, the second one it's technically supposed to be the new first one, if people don't know.
Yeah, basically, like, the original one was, like, they're, like, not side project. They're a very independent project they released in the very early 80s. And then this is kind of like, all right, here's a budget. Let's see what you guys can do with it. And, yeah, man, you're right. They erased the first one, basically, with this one. They're like, hey, it's just Ash and his girlfriend. None of their friends are there. And she immediately gets possessed. And that's where it starts. So I like to pretend that the first one still happened. And this is kind of just, like, the continuation, but...
Yeah. I mean, they're both good stories. Like the original first one, where the group of friends, they die one by one in the cabin, and then this one is also very good, where it's just them on a romantic. Somehow he found this random cabin that didn't belong to him. Both were good. I don't know what they were thinking, where they were like, "Oh, we have to redo it."
I don't know. I really don't know what the point of that was. Maybe it was just, I don't know, for more mainstream audiences. It's fine. It works. It gives it a little bit of a different angle. I would have been fine if it just started with him getting smashed in the face and then getting hit into the tree, and then it starts from there. And then you get all, his girlfriend can still come back from the dead. That's fine. She died in the first one. She can still come back. And then you get these professor and his daughter and all those people coming. That's fine too. Just have that happen.
Yeah, that would actually be a perfect, like, going in. Because one thing I like about how the second one ends and the third one begins is I really like when movies, whether they're sequels or trilogies, like, the way that it ends picks up directly where the third one begins. It's not like the third one starts and Ash is just like making a cup of coffee and like the Deadites find him. Like, he got sucked into the portal, went back in time. So yeah, I think they did that well. I think they did the flashbacks really well in the beginning, where Ash is there listening to the professor, and then you see like the professor's family coming there. Like it's showing both things happening. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, well, to your point about the way it ends, I really like that too because it like, dude, like your jaw must have been on the floor the first time you're seeing this. You're like, what the hell is gonna happen now? Like he's in medieval times.
Yeah, yeah, that was funny, but I agree. I think it would have been perfect too if the second one opened with you just see the spirit like go into him and he starts flying. Like it would have everything would have meshed perfectly. So I'm not sure what their direction with that was.
They also, because I don't know if you remember his like little annoying friend Scotty from the first one, his body. Well, no, never mind, never mind. He gets completely fucked. Never mind. But yeah, but regardless, the girlfriend, he buried her. She could have came back. He now has the chainsaw arm. He's got the
Mhm.
shotgun now. Like he starts to definitely become like goofier, but also gets more weapons in this one. But you can see the production quality gets substantially higher from the first one to this one, and I like that. I will give it.
Well, I think you probably saw the very visible wires, right? While they were floating.
I only saw one.
There was one when the other professor was floating, very very visible. Like I don't know if they didn't realize it. And then the other one was when shit was like floating. It
Yeah,
was. I mean, it granted this was like what the 80s, right?
87. Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, I mean that one with the professor, I was like, oh, there's literally like a black cord right there.
I didn't see that one, surprisingly. I did see when Henrietta, like the big mom, is kind of floating. I did see that. I was like, all right. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. Couple things that like I guess you kind of got to go along with the movie. Like, so he got possessed, but he was somehow what strong enough to like fight it, where it only kind of happens sometimes at night.
Okay, so I think that, yeah, I think when the sun lights up, the Deadites can't really take control as well, and he got possessed right as the sun was coming up, so they didn't get a good grip on him. I also think that Ash is kind of like this savior in this whole story with the Necronomicon, so I think he probably has a little bit of enhanced abilities compared to like a regular person.
Yeah, because the only thing that was fully taken over was his hand that he cut off.
Right.
But it does it explain? Does it ever like leave him in the second one?
I don't really think so, man, because in the third one, he's also kind of has all these like possession things happening to him where evil Ash comes out of the mirror. So
Oh
that
yeah.
happens in the second one. And then also, I don't know if you remember in Ash vs. Evil Dead, they go back to the cabin and his hand is still there.
Yep.
So it's
Yep.
like, yeah, dude, his hand survived for a long time. And I think it's because it's Ash's hand. I don't think it would have been anybody else's. Because if you remember in the first movie, the demon stabs the girlfriend or one of the women in the ankles, and then she immediately gets possessed, where Ash has the time to cut his hand off as it's fighting him. So I think it's because Ash is the protagonist, but I also think it's because he is like the savior of the Necronomicon.
Okay. Yeah. By the way, the third one was or is my favorite Army of Darkness. I thought it was so cool, and it is a little cheesy,
Yeah.
but again, dude, like Bruce Campbell is perfect for that.
Right. And you know what's funny? I was telling Eric about this too. It's like if you really think about it, this entire thing happens in one day. You know, like he goes to the cabin and he's this like sheepish boy. He's like, "Oh, I got you this little necklace. Oh, let's play some piano." Blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden, within 10 hours, he's like, "Kiss me, baby. Hey, I'm hail to the king, chief. Here we go." Like he's completely different dude in Army of Darkness, and that was 24 hours earlier.
Yeah, and then he comes back, and then for like what is it, 20 years or something, nothing happens until he gets high, reads from the Necronomicon, and that's when the show starts. So it's pretty funny how like the timeline they did that.
Dude, tell me that Ash vs. Evil Dead is not gonna like the perfect show for Eric.
Oh, I'm surprised you said he hasn't seen it. It's so good.
I know. I was like, come on, dude. He's like a drunk guy that lives in a trailer and works at S Mart still. Like it's perfect.
Oh, it's so good. I did find it funny though, and this is like kind of like cheesy 80s, but when the professor, the dad, was reading from the Book of the Dead, like transcribing it, and the daughter's like, "Oh, have you like talked to my dad?" And the professor's like, "No, it's been like a week." And I'm just thinking to myself, like, you guys didn't think anything bad would happen transcribing words from the Book of the Dead. like,
Yeah, that's true.
like what did you think? He's reading it and he's recording. He's like, "Yeah, my wife like turned and this and that," and I'm just like, "Man, why'd you do that?"
I know it's so funny. Like, so basically, they find this book, and I'm assuming it's in like Sumeria or something, and they take it back to this random cabin, and he starts singing it or speaking it, and the woods then get possessed and come alive with those ancient spirits. So he's like brought it to America. He's killed his wife. It ends up killing his daughter and possessing his soul. So I was like, yeah, this guy really fucked up. Yeah, and then of course recording it on top of that. So now when other people play it, like Ash doesn't know,
Yeah.
dude. Because like I was thinking about it, like Ash goes in, he's like, "Hey, baby, I found like a Panasonic player." She's like, "Oh, go play it. Let's see what's on. Maybe it's like the hottest new 1987 bullshit." And then she presses it, and it's fucking like demons come from the ground, and it's just like, you don't know what you're getting, and it fucks everything up.
Yeah, I also found it funny that like because when Ash played it, the demons like wrecked that fucking house and they were like blowing the windows down. But then when the dad was like his wife was possessed, he was sitting there calmly recording it. Like the desk has the recorder on it with the book like gently placed to the side, and like it wasn't destroyed or anything when he summoned demons.
Well,
But
I'm thinking maybe it's like a cleanup crew of like demons come in. They're like,
like,
"Hey, we
all
got
right, make it look good, make it.
Yeah, we got some new victims coming through. Make sure this place looks spick and span.
Yeah. The Deadites are just working on the house. Like, don't miss any of that blood.
It's like, oh, what are you doing? I thought this was a union job. Put your gloves on. Oh,
Why are the Deadites Italian?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
But yeah, you're right. It is like perfectly cleaned.
Yeah, the house is in perfect condition. And I thought, I forgot, but I thought it was super cool how the bridge was like. Apparently, there's only one way to get to this woodsy area. There's only one way in, one way out through this bridge. Which, when the camera pans out, you'll notice they're in like a national forest of some sort. Like, there's nothing around.
Yeah, it looks really good, and that's what kind of the whole point of it is like the seclusion aspect of it. But I still gotta think, man, like if your girlfriend or sister or whatever gets possessed, like I'd probably climb down that ravine or whatever, cross the river, and just climb up. Like you're not gonna be like, well, I guess we'll go back into the house.
I mean, yeah. If I don't know, was it climbable though? Like, could he climb down it?
There has to be something eventually. I don't
Like
know. I mean,
somewhere in the vicinity that is not just like a dead steep drop off.
but I don't really know though, because like if you really do like look at it, maybe they're to the right or left that bridge there, it's just a complete drop off, and you're like, I don't know, it's so dark and the woods are possessed, so you're like,
Yeah.
well, I guess we are kind of fucked.
Like Ash said, it's more dangerous in the woods. Like it's safer in the house when they stuck together. But was it me, or did it seem like the first time that the sun went up and then went down like 10 minutes past?
I know. Well, that was because the second
Like
night
you saw it coming up and then you saw it going down, and I was like, what happened that whole day?
that's where I kind of think like it just comes into like the demons almost put like a bubble around that world where it's like it's their domain now. They can make the sun go up and down as much as they want. Like I don't know.
I laughed when the tow truck driver and the daughter was like, yeah, can you like show me this path to get there, which apparently like the Deadites, because it disappeared. If you remember, the tow truck guy was like, yeah, the path like isn't there anymore, so like it let people in and then it just kind of went away. But he thought he was like robbing her, like, oh, I'll do it for $100, and she's like, that's nothing to me, I'm like a philosopher. So
I know, to him he's like, oh hell yeah, we're getting all that good beer tonight. Yeah, no, I like that couple because it's different. You get like the intellectuals, and then you get like the kind of like the rednecky people. But Bobby Joe, the woman running out into the woods, I liked in this one how she doesn't get raped. I did like that. I was like, okay, you can still scare people with the woods, grabbing her and tying her up, but not actually shoving a stick up her.
wait, was Bobby Joe in the first one?
No. Because the first one, there's that like very notorious tree rape scene, which is kind of like,
shit, I remember that. What, like the demon tree, like it goes up her?
yeah, dude. So like, and
Ugh.
also the actress didn't know that was happening. So like, they did that in post where they like show the stick like shove up her, and yeah, so and even Sam Raimi's like, that was a little much. I was like 21. I don't know what I was thinking. So in this one, you get something similar, which is probably the good part of it. The scary part of it is like the trees grab her, they rip her clothes, they scratch her and stuff, and then they pulls her through the woods, and that's scary enough. We don't need to see the other stuff. But
Yeah. The only part that kind of startled me in this film was when the mom, like her head like shot out of the ground like in the basement. Dude, I was like, holy shit, dude, it just ripped out of the ground.
Dude, where are you talking about when it turns into like a snake thing at the upstairs or in the actual basement still?
It like in the basement, they're like, oh, let's look for her, and her head just shoots through the concrete.
Oh yeah. Well, dude, how scary. That's one thing I love about Evil Dead is almost every movie, at least the first two and the remake, is you get that scene where somebody gets locked in the basement and they can't get up, and the thing starts slowly coming up the stairs at them.
Yeah.
And dude, if you want to get scared, the remake
Oh
version
my
of that is
god.
Justin, unwatchable. It's so good, dude. It's so scary.
Who plays Ash in the remake?
So there's no Ash in the remake. It's
What?
So the way they do it, I'll just kind of tell you really quick. And Matt Banniver, we just did Evil Dead like a couple days ago too, and he really made me think of it differently. Whereas in the remake, it's about a group of people that are all going to this cabin that their family owns because the daughter has a heroin addiction. So they're like, we're all going to be here for her. We're going to take her out of society, get her away from her dealers, and we're going to take care of her. And then what happens is there really is a demon. They do find this Necronomicon. They read from it, and they all think that, oh, she's just hallucinating because she's OD or she's withdrawing and stuff. So it makes it seem like, oh, she's having hallucinations, but she's really seeing demons. And then the demon comes. But Matt was like, that brings in reality too much into the movie. Where in this one, it's just demons, and
Yeah.
that's enough for people. Where that makes it seem like, okay, like, pills are the reason we're here. That's a real world problem. I came to the movies to get away from this kind of shit. So like, I see it differently now than I used to.
I don't know if I like that, dude. I don't know if I like that. I like Ash in it.
Yeah.
When the Henrietta, I think her name was Henrietta, the
Yeah.
mother, like changed back into human form, and she was like, "Your birthday's September 2nd." I was like, "Hey, that's my birthday."
Oh yeah.
I was like, "That's my birthday."
Hey, that's my half birthday. That's my half birthday. My birthday's March 2nd. That's my half birthday.
Spooky.
That's funny. I didn't realize that. Actually, speaking of that, what's kind of stupid is you're right. The demon would say stuff like that to people to make them like, hey, she does know. Maybe this is my mom. But at the end, when the Henrietta like snake monster is about to kill Ash and the daughter starts singing the like mockingbird song to her, why would the demon give a shit?
I kind of saw it as like the human part of the mother was that's still deep down in there. Like it distracted the demon for a few seconds. Maybe she was like fighting internally with it. But you're right. Like if there was no human part left, the demon wouldn't give a fuck.
You know what? After like seeing a million possession movies and demon movies, I need to see the version where it's like, what's happening inside? What's the human side like doing in there? Like, is it in like a big black room, like fighting demons to like get back in? Like, what does it look like?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really like that. But I thought it was super cool that her head turns into this like snake neck type thing,
Yeah.
and it's funny because it's obviously there's no CGI back then, so there's all makeup to make the faces look all deformed and shit. But then when the mother like her face changes from like makeup scary to like kind of like it's like a toy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a puppet.
Puppets are pretty scary.
Yeah. Puppets are pretty scary.
their teeth are all like bucktooth and shit. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, dude. No, that's all there was back then. Like you look at like Neverending Story and like Jabba the Hutt and just these big characters. Even Labyrinth or Dark Crystal, like Jim Henson, dude. Yeah, I don't know if he did this one. I doubt it, but yeah, man, it looks great. The tree at the end looks great.
Yeah.
Oh my god, where it's like grabbing people and it's like pulling him and he stabs it in the eye. Like it looks amazing.
Yeah, he put the chainsaw in the eye. I would really like to know why. It's got to be somewhere on the internet where they just were like, we want to redo this.
Well,
Like both stories were good. Like he's with his girlfriend, he's with his friends. I read from the book. I don't know why there was a reason to like kind of just do this.
Well, it's only an hour and 24 minutes long, and it's only probably the first 10 minutes that are kind of like, all right, we're retconning what happened, no friends, just the girlfriend now, and he cuts his hand off. But then from that point onward, it's completely new movie, basically.
Dude, I don't know if you noticed this, but first off, it was taking Ash forever to get out of the basement when he was locked down there because he was pushing on the door thing.
Yeah.
And the hillbilly truck driver couldn't get the key. I was waiting for the driver just to be like, can you just like give me a second? I could get you out in a second if you stop moving this lock. Nobody said that. And then when Ash got out, there's 3, maybe 4 other people in that room with 2 hands who could easily put a chain in and lock it. And he's using his nub to do it while he's holding. I'm like, somebody go help him.
I know. Well, I was thinking about that too when he was pushing up. But like, dude, if something's coming up to you, like I don't think you're gonna be like, okay, I will take a breath. You go for it. You unlock it now. I trust you. No, you're thinking like, if I push hard enough, maybe it'll break and I can escape. But yeah, no, you're right though. Yeah.
You're just watching his nub like slip off these chains.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he gets fucked up, dude. Ash gets really fucked up in this movie, and
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm looking at here, it made on a $3.5 million budget, it made 10.9 million. So like
That's pretty good.
it is good. It's not a huge success because I don't think that factors in marketing costs and stuff like that, but still did well enough. And I don't know. I guess like if you had made Evil Dead and you were like, okay, this took 3 years to make it. I was so inexperienced. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no money. And then they're like, okay, we want you to kind of like remake it, but like you can. It's a new movie, so we're still gonna call it Evil Dead 2. I guess I can kind of understand why they'd want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, why not? But I looked at Bruce Campbell's IMDb because he's not in a ton of stuff, dude. Like he's in the Evil Dead movies, he's in the Ash vs. the Evil Dead. About like at least 50% of his like acting portfolio, he does a lot of voices for like animated cartoons and shit because his
Hmm.
voice is pretty iconic. But he's not in a ton of different movies. He was in that show Burn Notice, which I watched, and again, he was funny in it. But like, I'm not sure if he doesn't accept a lot of different roles, or he's one of those types of actors that only picks what he wants to do because he'll enjoy it. But like, he's not in any like massive movies where he's making like 80 million or anything. So
No, he's like what I think he calls himself like the perfect B movie actor.
that's fair. Yeah.
It's almost like if a director loves his movies, or like he loves Evil Dead, stuff like that. They're like, oh, I want Bruce Campbell in my movie just to make like a cameo or whatever. He's in a new movie called Black Friday, I guess.
Yes, I saw the trailer.
Yeah, and that looks pretty interesting.
Did
And
you see the trailer for that?
yeah, I saw parts of it. This guy was showing me at work. He's like, look, 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 and I was just like, oh my god. But
It's sick, dude. It has Michael Jai White, who, if I'm not sure if you know, but he's in a ton of like C-ish rated movies where he's just he has like three different black belts and he's just beating the shit out of people. And they're in like another like Target type of store, and the on Black Friday, and the people turn into zombies and they have to fight them off. But like that's a perfect Bruce Campbell movie.
yeah, I mean that's where he feels comfortable and that's where people know him. So I think people are excited to see him in that. So yeah, dude, like I think it's like Bruce Campbell knows what he is. And I think if you like him, and otherwise you're just kind of like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, like I'm sure he's has plenty of money. I would love to know like what he's worth. I don't know if
I looked it up. He's worth $10 million.
okay, so yeah, that like when Evil Dead 2 ended, I was for some reason I was thinking about like how much he makes. And I was like, he's probably not like insanely loaded, but he's definitely living like a very comfortable life.
Oh yeah. And dude, considering like what his life has been, he's just going to Comic Cons and like people are like, everywhere he goes, like it's Bruce Campbell. Like, oh my God. That's like his whole life. So yeah, to have 10 million, I mean, who knows if this is really accurate. He could be I'm sure he's listening to this and he's probably just like, I have like $80, guys. But
I have 80 bucks.
I don't know where you read that, but
Dude, can you do Bruce Campbell cameos? Like is he one of the available people?
I feel like he would be. I don't think so. And if he is, I bet he is probably like $1,000. But
I would love to do that. That'd be awesome.
yeah, man. I don't. Aside from Black Friday, I don't really know what he's been up to lately. I know he's written a couple books. He's done a lot of TV shows. I think he's in that new Ash. There's a new Evil Dead video game. I think he's in that.
Yeah, I'm happy you remind me. There's a new comes out next year. I mean, will it be good? I don't know. Notoriously, video games based off of movies are not. But what he wrote books?
Yeah. Let me actually look it up. It's called. I think he wrote like a couple. Yeah, there's one called "If Chins Could Kill: Confessions of a B Movie Actor," and then
I love how he talks about himself like that. He's like, yeah, I'm not the best. I'm okay.
yeah, and the other one is "Make Love" with an asterisk, and then the asterisk at the below says "The Bruce Campbell Way."
Okay, I'm not sure what that means at all.
I don't know either. But yeah, like dude, if Chins could kill Confessions of a B Movie Actor, it's pretty funny. His face is funny on it. So I mean, like, dude, good for it. Oh, he's got another one. Hail to the Chin, Further Confessions of a B Movie Actor. Okay, The Cool Side of My Pillow, a book of essays by Bruce Campbell. So he's written quite a few.
What is that chin one about?
I mean, I think it's more about like that's like his memoir, like what his life has been like.
I would actually read that, dude.
I mean, yeah, you can read about it. He's just like, let me tell you about my second wife. And he's just like,
dude, yeah, like he's literally like not in that many things. Like I feel like he, like you said, he made a bunch of money off Evil Dead. He
Yeah.
does some like random, like he probably just like talks into a sound room somewhere and he does his like cartoons where he makes money. But other than that, like he goes to Comic Cons and like all these other like movie nerd things and just, collects residuals or something. I don't know.
Well, he's also very good friends with Sam Raimi, and I believe Sam Raimi has put him in every single one of his movies to some capacity. He's in all three of the Spider-Man trilogy, like as cameos. So anything Sam Raimi does, he throws him in it. So it's
Wait, which Spider-Mans are those?
the Tobey Maguire ones from the 2000s?
Bruce Campbell's in that?
Yeah, so the director of the Evil Dead trilogy did the Spider-Man trilogy, and he put Bruce Campbell in a bunch of different like small roles. Let's see, he was in this first one, he's the ring announcer in the first one. He is the snooty usher in the second one, and he is the maitre d' in the third one.
Yeah, like apparently he was in like he's a ton of video game voices. He's in Aqua Teen as a voice.
Yeah, dude, people love him.
I feel like he's in these random roles and someone's like, "Hey Bruce, you want to make like 80,000 real quick? 100,000?" He's like, "Yeah, why not?"
Yeah, why not? No, he's yeah, no, I mean, dude, he just seems like he's having fun, and that's what everybody really wants. I don't know, he seems like he's doing all right.
Yeah,
I like him. Yeah, he's a cool guy.
He's a cool guy.
He's a cool guy, man. Come on, man. I like this movie. I still, of all things Evil Dead, I still gravitate towards the original one though. I still think the passion is in there, and I can overlook all the shortcomings with the makeup and the acting. Like I don't care. Like I like that one the best for some reason.
Dude, this is completely not on topic with what you just said, but I feel like if Eric was here, he would get so excited. I completely forgot, dude. Bruce Campbell was in the original Hercules show. Do you remember that with
Kevin Sorbo? Yeah.
For 4 years, dude. I forgot he was in that.
Well, it makes sense because Xena is Lucy Lawless, and Lucy Lawless was in Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Oh, that's right. Okay, that's awesome, dude.
And there's also a comic series, Ash and Xena versus Army of Darkness.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, dude.
That's so cool.
He just, like he transcends stuff, dude. Like, I don't know. He's more than an actor. He's he's just a figure. He's a cool dude. God damn
it. So I think if I remember correctly, Evil Dead 2 got a higher score than the first one and third one.
Yeah, because I think like people love the first one so much, and this is just a cleaned up version of that. So like, yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I really like Army of Darkness. They're all good though. What a good series.
Yeah, man. And I love the diversity in blood colors. There's blue, green, and red. So I like that. Like certain demons have green. The tree monster at the end when he cuts him in the eye, that's blue. And then there's some of that red blood. So
yeah, speaking of the blood, when he cut into one of those deadites that had the green blood, it went all over the wall and covered the deer's face.
Yeah.
And then the next scene, there's no blood on the deer's face.
I mean, I think that's intentional. I think it's all supposed to be like illusions and just the demons are fucking with you. And
you think so?
I think so. Or
I thought like they just cleaned it up and they were like, all right, action. Just like, fuck it, let's roll.
Yeah, it was that, or they just completely just missed all of that,
Yeah, it's like the director who's listening to this, like, yeah, it was all part of the demons did it. Yeah.
There you go. They get it.
The demons did it, man.
Well, Justin, you got any last minute thoughts on the Evil Dead 2?
No, just that Bruce Campbell's pretty cool.
Yeah, he is pretty cool, man. Actually, you know what's really interesting too? Well, not interesting. I think it's funny that it's called The Evil Dead. Then there's Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn. Then there's The Army of Darkness. And it's just like, if you wanted to like get into this series and you didn't have anybody to help you, you'd be like, what is happening here? Why isn't it The Evil Dead 2, compared to The Evil Dead? It's just the naming conventions of this trilogy is just weird.
Well, if you didn't know anything about these and you just started watching them, the second one would be so confusing.
Yeah, it would.
Because you'd be like, wait, what?
Well, the third one would be so confusing if you started with that one. You're like, who the fuck is this guy?
Well, hopefully if you're starting a series, you're looking at when like they were released year-wise.
Right.
But yeah, you'd watch the second one, you'd be like, I thought she died. What happened?
Yeah. Well, Justin, thank you again for co-hosting and filling for Eric. Appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Eric's he tapped out, man. Tapped out.
That's what he said. He's like, I feel like it's tag team wrestling, and I'm gonna take a little tag, and Justin's gonna, fill in.
I love how it's a wrestling reference. He's just like, that's it. I'm tapping Justin in, man.
So yeah, so he'll be back. But I'm happy that you're here, Justin.
Oh, thank you.
Anyways, I will spin the wheel and let's see what we get. I'll do how Eric does it. Spin. All right, so we got Suspiria. Ooh. Have you ever heard of this movie?
I know absolutely nothing about this.
All right. I actually don't really know that much about it either. I just know it was made in the 70s, and they remade it recently. And so we'll watch the original one, see what that's all about. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, what is this about, dude?
Oh, I don't know.
An American newcomer to a prestigious German ballet academy comes to realize that the school is a front for something sinister amid a series of grisly murders.
Oh boy. Yeah, so we'll watch the 70s one, and I don't know. Apparently it's a classic, and I've just never seen it. So
is that what we're doing? It's the 70s one?
Yeah. So it came out in 77.
In
78.
Germany. Yeah.
No, it's Italian.
It's an Italian movie?
Yeah.
That takes place in Germany?
I guess so.
Okay, what a twist.
What a twist. All right, well, thank you everybody so much for listening in, and we will see you next week with Suspiria.
See ya.